Howdy folks, and welcome to 15 Nautical Mile Arc. Today we'll be starting out in Kakabeka Falls, Ontario, Canada, and flying south back into Minnesota. We'll be flying to Grand Marais and landing at the Cook County Municipal Airport. Pretty simple flight, pretty short flight. We'll be following an NDB, that'll be only part of our flight plan. But I first want to talk about this airport where we're at. This airport does not exist natively in X-Plane 10. I built it for the gateway and I was going to upload it, but the airport code just does not exist. So if you'd like to fly to this airport, you just have to go to the org and go to the downloads page and download the Kakabeka Falls Airport. That'll be Charlie Kilo Golf 8. CKG8 is airport code for that. We are just west of Thunder Bay, Canada. So Thunder Bay is right over here. Along the Lake Superior shoreline. You can see Lake Superior over here. And this is a pretty important airport for the area. The Kakabeka Falls Flying Club flies out of this airport, and they are known best for inventing the acrylite, ultralight, self-built aircraft, home-built aircraft. So they're the designers of those, and they fly out of here. I've also included the seaport base or the seaplane base in this airport too, so you can always put on your floats and take off from the same airport. Alright, I think that's all I need to say about this. It just looks kind of neat, beautiful part of the country, and not really a taxiway. You kind of just taxi along the runway or even on the runway, I guess. And we'll be doing this flight in the RWDesigns Twin Otter, the DHC-6 Twin Otter. I am starting to love this plane more and more. It's one of my newer aircraft that I've purchased. And I haven't flown it a whole lot, maybe a handful of times. Of course, it's a very, very good aircraft. And everything works inside except the fuses, which that's kind of how things go. You don't really need the fuses, but all the other switches work. I have my view set up, I have my lighting set up, and I guess we'll just hop inside and get going on this thing. Alright, first thing we're going to do here is we're going to shut our door. And I have my little cheat sheet like usual. Head up here, turn on our battery, DC master, we can come up here, turn on our lights. Maybe, there we go. Go back here, shut the door, see all of our lights are on. We'll turn the lights off before everybody gets loaded in there. Alright, any other lights we need to turn on? Yeah, turn on these things. No smoking, fasten your seatbelt. Hopefully I remember the other lights, like taxi lights when it's time. Turn on your GPS, turn on our radios here, you just click and let go. Where is it? There it is. Alright, we're going to tune our ADF to 358, it's already in there I guess. This is how you tune it, otherwise you've got 3 sizes. See that? Going in each direction. Just beware of that. We're going to fly to about, I think we can get to 10,000 feet on this short flight. We'll do that. We'll turn autopilot on when we get ready to take off. Fuel boost, something I was going to mention here. It says off, right? Fuel boost is up, which is off. It says off, it means on. Kind of a strange thing there, but just be aware of that. I'm going to put our power levels to idle, which they are. Turn our fuel. Alright. I'll talk about the sound of the props in a minute here. Alright, let's go back over here. Engine igniter, start the left engine. Alright, now that that's started, we can start the right engine. Alright, we're not quite done yet. Turn on the generators, you have to go down to reset first. Come on. Reset. And then on. Reset. And then on. De-icer, I don't think we're going to need it, but why not? Auto. Probably turn the lights off now. Pipe top heat on. Taxi lights. Bleed air. Go down here, make sure all of our cautions and warnings are out, and they are, and we are ready for takeoff. I normally don't do reviews of airplanes. Oops, maybe ADF there. But I do want to say that I love this aircraft. It's very easy to fly. It almost seems too easy, and that kind of does what you want just by thinking about it. The only thing I'm not a fan of are the sounds of the props. If I turn my props down to feather, instead of getting a feathering sound, it just sounds like the engines turn off. See that? Sounds like we lost them. They're still running though. They look different, that's cool. So, that's one thing. Also, when I reverse my engines, see that? Sounds like they turned off, didn't it? Okay. But they're still going, and here they come back. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. Also, when you do your reverse throttle, it just increases the throttle. It doesn't change the sound. And here, we'll try that. See, it doesn't really change the sound at all. It just makes it sound like your engine's going stronger. And my only complaint about this aircraft are those sounds. And it's just being picky, but there are other aircraft that do include those sounds very well, and that's why I thought I'd mention it. So that was a quick startup, but only 10 steps or so. It's not that difficult to start it up. The doors are closed. I do have my wing views set up, prop views set up for during the flight. We have our alternators, altitude set. And yeah, we're just gonna fly towards NDB and land at the airport. Not a very complicated flight plan. 10,000 feet should give us a great view of Lake Superior and some of the islands out there. And I think that's about it. Away we go. I'll start the taxi here. Taxi's easy. When you do your flaps. They're not incremental flaps, so you have to hold down your flap button. You can tell where your flaps are by looking at this gauge here. So once I make this corner, we'll go down to about flap 20 or so. So I need to hold the button down. Take it to 20. And the frame rates are really, really good in this. I have no frame rate hits or anything. This airport is just so cool to look at. And we'll taxi out here. So I imagine if you're going to taxi while the aircraft are landing, you just have to be really careful, I guess, and mind your space. So to get this view, it's shift 4, so it won't follow the aircraft. So for example, when I turn here, you'll see see all the sides of the aircraft. Shift 8 on the other hand will put you behind the aircraft. And it'll do whatever the aircraft does. Alright, not a very good taxi, but I was too busy playing with my buttons like usual. Alright, flaps are down. I think we're ready to go. Taxi light is on. Somewhere. There it is. Keep that on until we take off. Turn your landing lights on. Very easy to fly. And then the flaps. Push Alt Alert. That will get us up to our altitude. Hang on, it's going to fight me. We'll come back to autopilot in a minute. We'll do a redo on that. There's our airport. And there's our tower view. Something I've noticed about this plane is it doesn't require a lot in the way of engine management and prop management. Normally, you need to make sure everything's in the green, so we'll bring our props back in a second. But everything else is always in the green in this aircraft. You don't worry about that too much. Put back a little bit. We don't need that to prop out. I gotta see where we're going here. There we go. Alright, let's pay attention. Let's head towards our NUV. ADF. When we get to there, we'll stop turning. And we'll use your heading bug. So let's switch your heading bug to about 22 or so. 23. So we can engage autopilot. Heading. Alt alert. And there we go. So my hand is off the joystick. It should stop turning when we get here. And we'll stop climbing when we hit 10,000 feet. And why isn't it catching the heading bug? Strange. Let me reset autopilot. There we go. Engage autopilot. Heading. Heading. There we go. Not sure if that was a glitch or not, but I had autopilot disengage with the stick. Apparently that did not disengage autopilot. On autopilot, there we go. Following the heading bug, we'll stop climbing at 10,000 feet. Landing lights. Turn Turned off my taxi light. The way I'm flying, I definitely think you need to keep those seatbelt lights on. There we go, pop up all the clouds. There's Lake Superior. As I was saying before about engine management, most planes, once you take off, you gotta dial the throttle back. But in this plane, I've always been able to just keep the throttle wide open, and haven't had any fires or failures or anything. I do dial the props back to keep them in the green. So here we are climbing at 90 knots. I believe that's the ideal climb speed for this aircraft, if I'm not mistaken. Once we get up to 10,000 feet, we'll level off, and we should be cruising pretty good by that point. I was going to do this flight without clouds, just have a clear ground to look at, but clouds are kind of nice too. Alright, just captured our 10,000 feet. Should level us off now. I hope it levels us off. There we go. 10,000 feet. Now we have no distance measuring equipment, so I have no idea how far we are from there. But right now, we need to move this over. No, not this way. Just a hair. I think we're going to put up the GPS. We know where we are. I don't see our airport on the GPS. That's very strange. Well, this might be very interesting here. I guess we'll know when our ADF flips around if you pass the airport. Well, I don't see our airport on here. It's KCKC, Kilo Charlie, Kilo Charlie. I don't see that on here. It's nowhere near. It should be right around here. Oh, this is interesting. In the past, when I've flown this route, I've flown up long Lake Superior. And then when I'm 90 degrees from the airport, this will flip over, and then I'll know where to turn. Oh, I guess we're just going to sit back and enjoy the flight. Alright, we're going to check on our gauges here. Props are still in the green, everything's still in the green. And I've been running this full throttle the whole time, so there really isn't much to worry about. Our airport should be right about here. Right before that long, narrow lake. Right about there. If we get lost, we can always pull in the built-in VFR chart. Because in real life, you know, we'd be flying with the VFR chart on our lap or on our iPad or tablet. That's the local map in X-Plane 10. You can't really use it for flight planning in X-Plane 10. It only covers about 150 miles, but it's great for VFR flying if you get lost. I'm pretty sure that's where our airport is. Lake Superior on the left. Northern Minnesota on the right. Turbulence there. Alright, let's see. Should we start coming down? I don't think we need to come down yet. There it is. Now it's on our GPS. Kilo Charlie, Kilo Charlie. So this is 50 miles, 50 nautical miles. So we're about 50 nautical miles away, 45 maybe. You can always pop that in here. So I just hit direct, activate, there we go, 9 miles. Or 9 minutes, sorry, 24.8 nautical miles. So I guess, if you have a GPS, why not use it, right? I think what we'll do is we'll kill autopilot. Just do this manually. A lot of turbulence. I didn't notice any turbulence when I had autopilot on. Start descending a little bit. I'll come over here so that we can approach it. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll fly over it and then approach left traffic pattern. Let's go back. $19 nautical miles now. Six and a half minutes. We're at 9,000 feet. Airport's about 900 feet above sea level. We're about 8,000 feet up. we descend 1,000 feet per minute, we'll be at a good altitude to cross over and circle around. Alright, we're under 10,000 feet. Alright, so we're at the speed I want to be at, so we're going to use our throttle to control our descent. So really your throttle isn't your speed control, it's your climb and descent control. And there it is, up on the left. Just left of the center of our screen, right before that long, skinny lake. We crossed over the Canadian border a few minutes ago. I should have called it out. There really isn't a distinguishing factor where the border was. It's there. And there's the airfield on the left. Just above the cloud ceiling there. That's kind of fun. We'll turn left over the airfield here in a second. See, autopilot isn't disengaging. Well, it is, but the switch isn't, so when I made my changes back there, they didn't take my changes. Looks like there's a scenery loading problem. This airport is supposed to have a row of hangars up on the left. And I don't see them from here. Maybe they'll pop in when we get closer. Oh, there they are. There they are. There they popped in. Be somewhat realistic in our flyover here. Lake Superior straight ahead, of course, on the horizon. There we go. Like a pretty lake, little lake there. Some smaller lakes behind it. Alright, we better fly this aircraft. We'll make left downwinds, left base, and then final. Kind of use our ADF there to tell us where we are. Let's trim this thing up. We'll do a STOL landing just because we can, although we have plenty of runway. I just like to see how short we can land. Oh, we had Pappy. There they are. Says I'm too high, but I'm afraid of clipping those trees. There you go. Complete stop. Only a few hundred feet. Alright, we'll taxi off this runway and then check out the landing. I landed a little long, but I knew it wouldn't matter. Our all or nothing braking system here. Stop here a second, set our parking brake, turn off the landing lights, turn on the taxi light. Well, they're already on, so there it is. That one. Alright, let's check out that. Check out the landing. And stop in a hurry. Yeah, we didn't use much runway at all, did we? Actually, let's do that one. There we go. Not bad. Watch those trees, look at that. We barely passed the trees. Alright, one more from tower view here. I did kind of a funny ballooning there because I didn't want to stall, but I wanted to be smooth. Alright, let's see how short this landing is. There we go. STOL for you. That was even full flaps. That could have been slower. Alright, let's go back to live time here. Alright. Parking brake and let's taxi. Oh, these brakes, all or nothing. Well, that wasn't the smoothest operation I've ever flown. Had a little issue with the autopilot there in the beginning, where it kept my bank angle and wouldn't respect my heading bug until I canceled it and started it over. So that's something to keep in mind, to make sure everything is set before you even turn on autopilot, I guess. My altitude is fine, but that heading bug thing. I didn't talk too much about the airplane in the beginning. It was kind of just a quick startup. I just wanted to get in the air. But I love this aircraft. I wasn't sure of it at first because it's one of my more recent purchases. And I'm used to the other aircraft that I know very well. So sometimes you unfairly compare aircraft when you don't need to. Bring in some flaps here. So normally we would be parking at that brown hangar in this aircraft, but we're going to go down here and check out Hangar Row. Stay away from that fence. This would not be the appropriate place for this aircraft. I'm definitely going to take this aircraft out more often though. We're almost there. Seeing a bit to the right because I don't want to clip any aircraft. Because normally I wouldn't be here. Alright, let's just park right here in front of Bill's place. Stop right about here. Check the parking brake. Turn off for fuel. All that good stuff. Turn lights back on. Come on. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. Seatbelt light can come off, of course. That can come off. The generator's on for now. Keep the. We don't have external power in this plane. So we'll keep the battery on so that you can see your cabin as you exit. Alright. Well, I hope you had fun flying with me today. I feel like I was a little hurried today. I didn't talk as much as normal. I guess the general opinion is people like me to talk more. I guess that makes sense. Talk about what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it. So I don't know. It was a good flight. Not the smoothest flight. Could have done a few things better, but I'm learning. It's a new aircraft to me. I know some other stuff better. But if you liked it, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.